The frame's kind of, yeah. I think it's pretty good. It doesn't have any of our patented free counter spells, but it's pretty decent otherwise. Oh, baby. Spoke too soon, chat. Spoke too soon. Complained about not having enough free counter spells. My deck answered. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, that one. Whew. Whew. God bless you, Daze. God bless you. Don't force me. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. God bless. All right. Whew. Whew. Dodged a bullet there, chat. Alrighty. So do I should probably just goose here and get my threats down, right? I think I'm just supposed to like goose and get my threats going. If they have another chalice, I'm gonna be like super sad with my life choice. But like I can't ponder and play Wasteland this turn. If I hadn't Dazed, I'd probably ponder to try and find Wasteland for Cavern, but whoa, they have no plays. They have no plays. Okay. Let's look for a Wasteland here. I think I'm supposed to shuffle those. I'm gonna hold up this Snare, Pierce, Stifle, Wild Slash here. Oh, jeez! Oh, jeez, chat! Chat, he's so tricky! He's so tricky! Oh, gosh! Oh, gosh. All right, let's get a little wacky and wild in here, shall we? Whew! Whew! Lordy, lordy! That's some technology right there. That is some technology. Why didn't you spell snare to Merfolk, Trickster Hogland? Well, you see... I would love to reveal Dismember. Which member? This one. Right here. Cavern is on fish. We finished 3 and 2, Bob. We beat Miracles in the last one. I'm probably going to Spell Snare something sometime soon here just to get the card in my discard pile. They've pulled my insect to the ground, chat. They're so mean. They're so mean. Alright, only 2 more cards until this goose breaks loose. Matthew Slade, thank you very much for the brand new Twitch Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine here. Phantasmal Image, that's really annoying. That's super unfortunate for us. I think I'm supposed to pass here, right? That was the snare target too. It was, yeah. So, if they play a Merfolk here, I'm gonna Spell Snare it. Or if they play a 2-drop, I'm gonna Spell Snare it and then Pierce my Snare. Because Pierce and Snare likely aren't going to have text here, and I'd like to set the geese loose. Let's fill that discard pile up, boys and girls. Ayo! Ayo! That one out of there. Squad goals, chat. Squad goals. Get in there. Get in there. Arrgh! Arrgh! Got him. All right, that was sweet. That's good stuff. Alright, so let's get a bunch of these pretty medium counter spells out of our deck. God, we have so many bad cards here. Oh, jeez. We have We have Pyroblast, chat. Who's excited for these Pyroblasts? I'm excited for it. So, like, all 16 of these could maybe be bad. These are great. This is great. These are... God, this sideboard is just aces. It's really good, huh? What value does Stifle have? I think I want to cut these. That's a good clean 20. Yeah, I'm keeping the forces. I don't have enough cards to cut all the forces. You definitely want the forces. Spell Snare, they're not always going to have... Oh, geez. Are the card backs different? Why are the card backs different? Chat, change is scary. Do you see the card back picture is Why is it... Why are the card backs different? Why are the card backs different? Somebody altered my... I know. These are not the card backs I paid for. These are not the card backs I paid for. I'm scared. It's scary. Fire whoever made this change. Change is terrible and wrong. I've literally never seen it before, but now I hate it. They're not tournament legal, DQ. Is this keepable? I think this is keepable. They're delegitimizing our cards to switch us to arena. Do not go quietly, chat. No, I think this is fine. Like, True-Name's probably one of our better cards here. And, like, I have a piece of spot removal. Maybe I'm supposed to lead on Trop there so I can Dismember without fetching. Really glad we boarded in Ancient Grudge. Hootie and the Blowfish. Big Hoots Magoots. Is that real, Azintoth, or are you lying to me? Oh, geez. I guess I should have played the Wasteland. I guess I'm dismembering on that. It doesn't say something that, like, I can't tell if you're lying or not. That seems like something Wizards would do, right? I would love to be a fly on a wall in, like, Rich Shea's office if they did that. Just, like, based on his response to them changing the tops of cards on Moto. I choose you, Pikachu. They're changing the backs, but the new ones are only legal in China. It's funny because it's sad. That's great. Wow, alright. What is their... Did they just not do anything? As long as they still say Deckmaster. The deck devolved into EDH Fest. Yeah, right? Whenever you start asking the chat for like 7 drops, just like all the EDH players pop out. Wow, their hand is really bad apparently. Maybe I should I Wasteland the Force, the Cavern here? I get to take a draw step first. I feel like I'm supposed to Wasteland the Cavern though, so that way my Force can be live. With the Forces in my hand, it really feels like it's right to just take them off the Cavern. Let's go ahead and play Hootie here. So I want to leave as many cards as possible in the bin because we do have Mongoose in the deck. Hootie and the Blowfish here in play. They're coming for you. They're coming for you. Running them down. Protection from you. Who do we got protection from? That guy right there. That person over there on the other side of the table. We have protection from them. They're not coming anywhere near us. Mongoose or Mongooses? Asking the real questions. Has opponent played a single non-modern legal card yet? I don't think so, actually. They just dismembered our Hootie. Deal. Deal. Hoots is dead. Hoots is dead. Bolt you, kill you. No cards in hand, eh? It's a damn shame. Do 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 do. Steady as she goes. Do 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 do. All right. Want to start with Temur Delver, Hootie and the Blowfish. What's going on, folks? Thanks everyone for hanging out today. Welcome to the first day of Legacy without Dr. Shamans. Should we call it Legacy without Borders? No shamans, no probes today. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time streamer, memer, content producer here on Twitch. I stream Magic, primarily non-rotating formats, 30 plus hours a week here on this channel. If you enjoy my stuff, please consider subscribing to my stuff, like Argon XXXI there. Thank you very much for the support. I do appreciate it. Welcome. Past subscribing, you can also support my stuff by checking out some of my wonderful sponsors. Cardshare.com will help you turn some of your Magic cards into other cards or cash directly with other players. There's no haggling. They just take a 1% fee off the top. Rufio TV with that brand new Twitch Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month. InkedGaming.com will help you customize your gaming experience using code Jeff12. You can save 12% on custom playmats, mouse pads, binders, and bags with them. CoolStuffInc.com buys and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles. Using promo code Jeff5, you can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards with them. This stream is made possible by viewers like Anaronix, Justin Nivick, and all y'all out there. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. If you are new, make sure you hit the follow button. Following the stream doesn't cost you anything. Lets you know when I go live and with what. If you can't catch all the awesome Legacy action that we're going to have going on today and tomorrow and in the future, be sure to check out my YouTube channel as well. YouTube.com/Jeff Hoagland. 100% of my stuff gets archived there. Person says in chat, how do you reconcile your seemingly conflicting opinions that rules lawyering is not scummy, but we should make Magic more accessible? Doesn't just because something is legal as allowed mean it's moral to do? Isn't that suspect? If your opponent could be cheating, you should absolutely call a judge, but I think leveraging tournament rules to win a gotcha. Okay, so here's the thing. There are different rules enforcement levels for Magic the Gathering. Maybe I should have mulliganed this hand. So I don't think you should encourage getting people when you are playing F&M, but when you are playing a competitive REL tournament, when everybody has shown up and paid $50, $60, $100 entry fee, those people should be held accountable for knowing how Magic the Gathering works. If a new player is getting got in a competitive setting, that means they probably weren't ready to be playing in that competitive setting. Shut up! My hand was perfect. There's a Delver right there. I need the rest of y'all to believe, okay? I need the rest of y'all to believe. So when I subbed, it was the first day of you stopping accepting donations for your decks. Can I get a link to the deck so I could use my sub to bump a deck? Neckfire, as a heads up, it's only the tier 2 and tier 3 subs that get a free deck bump with their subscription. So anybody else, any amount of bits that you cheer or dollars that you donate, those can push decks up in the queue. But just for regular subscriptions, we don't bump decks in there. Ancient Tomb. So it looks like we are playing against Sneak and Show. If you want details on how my donation deck system works, all of them can be found here. If we get to untap without them having a big scary, we could be okay here. Probably dead. Probably dead. Assume we're dead. Yep. Okie doke. Well, that's a good hard fought game. It's a good hard fought game. Yep. Details on the Discord server are here. Feel free to pop on in. I can't spell pierce that one, chat. I can't spell pierce that one. What wizardry hides your chat commands from your chat bar on stream? That is just setting up the Streamlabs OBS properly. Or sorry, setting up Streamlabs alerts properly. Alright, so all of these come in, and this comes in. The lightning bolts and the wild slashes and the dismembers come out. That's just like super fucking clean, huh? That's super clean. I don't want any of these other cards, right? I just like want these. You could maybe argue that I want this Sylvan Library. You could probably make a good argument that I want the Sylvan Library. Whenever I'm boarding with the deck and I'm just like, these are the cards I want and these are the cards I want to cut, and they line up perfect, I'm just like, man, whoever built this deck was great. I use just traditional OBS for streaming because I stream from a Linux system, and Streamlabs OBS only supports Windows currently. We are at the start of our second league, Larinax. We are our second match of the second league. Yeah, I mean, this is a keep. OBS stands for Open Broadcast Software. It is an open source piece of technology. I'm not playing Goyfs because the person that top 4'd the SCG Classic with this deck wasn't playing Goyfs. I see Hooting Mandrills in the deck. I have no idea. Genuinely, okay, so that's not true. Fatal Push and Abrupt Decay are the reasons to play Hooting Mandrills over Fatal Push and Abrupt Decay. Those are the reasons to play Hootie over Goyf, I'd imagine. I'm pretty sure, even though it's just a 1/1, we're supposed to deploy our threat on one here. It feels really bad watching them fetch on one when we have these Stifles in our hand, but I think I just need to put a thing into play. Like, there's no guarantee they have a fetch land on the first turn. Yep, here's a link to my Pandora station there. Am I brainstorming here? Probably just want to start filling my bin up. It's pretty decent. Oh, Spell Snare's pretty bad here. I guess they board in... I guess I expect the opponent to board in Pyroclasm post board, which makes it not completely dead, but it's still pretty dead. I think I just let this happen because I want to try and Stone Rain them here. I'm fully aware that there's merit to countering cantrips. So they didn't have the fetch land, I'd have snapped the counter on the cantrip. Listen, there are fewer people in life that like countering cantrips more than I do. Maybe I should have stacked the other blue source on top. I'm not really sure that I have a good general guide for that, Darth. Well, the double Stifle here with their double turn is pretty reasonable for us, especially with these other tools to go alongside it. So I think we just want to keep, like, nickel and diming them here. We have a 14 turn clock on the table, so let's do it. I'm going to do this because it's going to encourage them to crack. I'm going to let this resolve because it's going to encourage them to crack their fetch lands. There's no power legal in this format, Burgle. Jeez, get your details right. Are we having fun yet, opponent? Fuck. Yeah, I fluster back, but have you ever flustered a Flusterstorm on Mono Chat? There's a special layer of hell that all they make you do is Flusterstorm opposing Flusterstorms, okay? All right, so this one is targeting this one. So I want this new one to target the second one, and I want the next one to target this one, and then the last one I can same targets on, I think. I think I did it. What a flusterfuck. Just like... just, you know... This fills up our discard pile, too. This might be a game where we wasteland ourselves to get this Mongoose loose. They forced our Stifle. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. All right. There is some weather noise going on outside. I believe it's thunder. Yep, definitely storming. Oh no! Oh no! This was supposed to be your time, Spell Snare. Spell Snare, you had one goal. It was to protect the goose. You're supposed to protect the goose from this cruel death. You failed at your job. You were the chosen one. All right, so I'm gonna put these two back. I'm gonna wasteland them off of this. I'm gonna play this. I'm going to play the Delver. I'm gonna put a stop on my upkeep though. So this way I can flip the Delver to the Spell Snare, but then I'm going to crack my fetch land before I draw the Spell Snare, because Spell Snare's a little stinky. How are we doing today? I'm doing well. Doing well. We 3-2'd our first league. We're down a game here, but this game seems to be going okay-ish. This one could break either way at this point. Draw a random card. Surgical Extraction. That's not very good. No, they just don't have that many 2-mana spells. Like, they generally don't have that many. Why didn't you keep the Spell Snare? Didn't keep... Do I just run this same thing back here again? I think I do, right? That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Come on. It costs 2 mana, though, chat. Why can't I Spell Snare it? It costs 2 mana. Do I want to draw the Daze? That's like a real question, right? I don't know that I want to draw the Daze. There's a non-zero chance that surgicals are worse than bolts. The thing that makes surgical good is that if you can counter their first show and tell and then take all their show and tells out of their deck, they have a lot harder time winning. That's my line of thought, but I could definitely see surgical just like being worse than bolt, because like in a situation like this, bolt is just time walk, right? Like I just kill them 1 turn sooner. Like if that was ponder bolt on top of my deck, they'd be dead next turn. Just get to auto pass here since my hand's empty. Hopefully we don't die. Got some bad news, chat. Got some bad news. Put him to 1, but that's not gonna be good enough. Needed 1 more point of damage. Wonder if I missed a point at any point there. I don't think so. I don't think so. Because they would have been at 6. We could have sacked 6 lands, taken hit for 15, and then killed them on the backswing, but they were at 7. So that was not an option. I think I'm going to keep this in the dark. It's got Force Cantrip land. It's hard to pass that up, I think. I mean, at the point I wastelanded the Ancient Tomb, I didn't really have any pressure. The opponent was at 7. You should read the chat rules if you're confused as to why you were timed out. Yep, legacy changes are active on Magic Online. Basic Plains. I could Stifle this, but I think I just want to do this. Do I Brainstorm here? Nah, I'm just going to pass. It's possible I should Brainstorm digging for a Delver or a 1 mana threat, though. Jeff Hunkland will deliver us into the brave new legacy. Thanks, LQ. Thanks for up into the big sub there. Yeah, I don't think we're getting out at that point. Do I want blasts in this matchup? They like certainly have true names, but they probably don't have much other than that. Spell Snare seems good against the Stoneforge deck. I'm gonna trim these Pierces, I think. How do we feel about Stifle in this matchup? Nexus, thanks for the 3-month 3 subscription and welcome back. Welcome back. Oh yeah, the Grudge is probably great. How do we feel about cutting Stifle? How do we feel about cutting Stifle here? It's kind of decent against Stoneforge, right? You can Stifle Battle Skull. You can Stifle the first GTA trigger. I need to trim something here. It could be a mix of Force and Stifle. I kind of like that, actually. Let's like Coward split it. And then maybe when we're on the draw, we'll split them 2-2. I probably don't want more than 2 Stifles. I feel like trying to Stone Rain them in this matchup is probably really bad. This is a deck list that recently did well at a tournament, so Deathrite was legal at the tournament that this played in. Yeah, trimming Daze on the draw probably makes sense. Seems great. We're gonna do the Delver thing in this game, chat. Turn 1 Delver, Daze your play, Wasteland you, Wasteland you, Wasteland you. I take it because we can't block a warrior. Oh yeah, just Temur Delver things, chat. Just Temur Delver things. Oh yeah, that's just good stuff. Just hit it right on the nose. I can actually cast this Hooting Mandrills here, huh? That's fine. I've got a thick skin and I know how to use social media moderation. I'll be okay. Now this is a good game of Magic here. Big hoots. If this had been a Tarmogoyf, we would have also played him for 2 mana, but he'd have only been a 1-2, which is like much, much worse than what we have going on right now, right? What if we didn't do that? Oh, jeez. We got Dazed back, chat. Temur Delver is descriptive. As a content producer, I value deck names that are descriptive and help convey what a deck is trying to do. So I get that people hate change and they want to call everything Canadian Thresh or Rug Delver or whatever, but Rain Spider, thanks for the resub. When you resub, you need to refresh your browser page and it gives you a chance to send a message with your sub. Rug is not consistent with how we name everything else. Using the shard names is very consistent. We have a Ponder on top of our deck to flip this to, which is nice. Temur is official MTG jargon, correct? No, they remembered Stifle. If they weren't playing around Stifle, they would have just Wastelanded me immediately. Instead, they Wastelanded me during my upkeep. Thanks. Also loving the Landfall deck. Sweet. Yeah, the Landfall deck is really awesome. Super powerful. And a lot of fun. We're definitely just starting by attacking for 6 here, right? If both of these... The land I tap to cast this Ponder is going to depend on if they take this hit or not. What's going on, Lobster? Welcome to a live one. So now I'm going to tap the green here, because if we find a burn spell, we can kill them. Tron Coral 1, thank you for the brand new Twitch Prime support. This is a pretty easy shuffle here. Pretty easy shuffle. And we got punished here. We got punished for tapping our green source, but I think because they went to 2, it's right to leave the red up. I have not played enough Legacy to have an educated or informed opinion on whether or not the bannings have felt good, bad, or otherwise. In fact, anybody who tells you they've played enough Legacy already to have an educated or informed opinion on what's good, bad, or otherwise is probably lying. You need to play a lot of games of Magic to get a feel for like what something like that is going to have an impact on the format. It's like I tend to err on the side of like let's give it some time. Am I going to play Legacy Tron? I am not. I'm just playing the decks that are at the top of the queue. Been a lot of decks that have been sitting in there. 23 is fine. Do I want these Pyroblasts? These seem worse the more I think about it. Like, their true names are kind of annoying. So, actually, I wonder if this is probably a Sylvan Library matchup, huh? I'll leave a Spell Pierce in, too. So, a lot of people like to view decks like Temur Delver and Grixis Delver as these fair decks that don't want card disadvantage. This isn't really, while it isn't unfair in the context that, like, it's not a Storm deck, it isn't really fair. It's an aggressive tempo deck. It's a deck that's willing to trade card advantage for tempo. And that's what Force of Will allows you to do. Force of Will is like the definition of a tempo card in these fair matchups because it allows us to trade in 2 of our cards and no resources other than that for one of our opponent's important cards. So the way we describe fair and unfair in Magic is pretty consistent. Generally speaking, decks are considered fair if they don't have a combo finish in it. Because they also have Wasteland, I could see Loam being an okay card to include. I'm going to force this here because I would like to cast Sylvan Library next turn, ideally, I think. It's a Hooting Mandrills. Can't quite cast him yet. And we're seeing a little bit of that Hooting Mandrills, Nimble Mongoose anti-synergy or dis-synergy here. Nana with the $5 donation. Thank you for the support. I love your vids and the Magic rants. It pays to be a nice person, so here you go. Put this towards abs and loam pox. Always happy to. Thank you very much for the support. As always, the people that support my content are the ones that dictate what we play and how soon we play it. So if you ever donate or cheer $1 or more or 100 bits or more, you can bump a deck in the queue with that. Jite, Better Skull, yep. You think Goyf is better than Ape? I don't know. I haven't played enough with the archetype to know that. I am not going to give him feedback while I'm streaming, so I will probably take a peek at it later tonight, but I am not going to stop working to go give that man any validation in his life. Yeah, I think we just pay 8 here, right? Oh, this is really aggressive because I need to pay 4 more now. Your life total is a resource, chat. Use it. Ow. 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 That's fine. We've got 5 hit points. The only hit point that matters is the last one, chat. The only hit point that matters is the last one. We need more Death Shadow. Hey, look at that. They gave us more health back. They let us draw another card. All right, so this is pretty easy, right? I just go ahead and slide. Probably slide these 2 back. So I'm going to go put on top, play this, and then I'm going to predict my Polluted Delta away next turn. Yeah, I'm predicting the Polluted Delta away. That's funny, LOQ. Sort of Fire and Ice. That's scary. All right, so we get to see 4 new cards this turn, because I know there's Delta Wasteland on top of my deck, so I'm going to clear the Delta, draw Wasteland plus new card, or we're only going to see 1 new card this turn. Well, that's scary. That's scary, chat. Now my Delver doesn't flip either. Well, that's a tilt. I'm gonna throw these back. They have had a lot of Stoneforge mistakes. Hopefully, this Sylvan Library finds us a way to deal with equipment next turn. We have 2 Abrades. Abrade seems like such a good addition to this deck. And they're doing this now proactively because they want to play around Stifle. This is a good play on the opponent's part. Nope. All right, 2 more shots. Well, I get to put these back. I think I'm just going to any order shuffle these. Just need some fresh ones. That's unfortunate. Yeah, it's funny, MTG Brews. Usually people that talk about things like that don't actually understand what free speech is and what actual liberties for the freedom of speech pertains to you. And like or if they do understand it, they're using other people's who are their viewers' lack of understanding to play into what they're doing. Like I think I'm pretty firmly of the opinion that Jeremy's very smart and he knows exactly what he's doing and he's playing to his audience's lack of intelligence. They have another land here. We're going to be in a lot of trouble. Yep. I guess I get to chump block with the Mongoose this turn. I guess if I find Ancient Grudge, I'm in an okay spot because I get to clean their board out. What's going on, Beto? Welcome and thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. That's a, well, True-Name would be good, except this has protection for blue currently. Yeah, he just makes money off of kicking up shit. Well, that's unfortunate. I feel like I'm supposed to pay 4 here. I feel like I'm supposed to pay 4. So this way I can cast 2 cantrips here. Oh, that's brutal. Alrighty. Last shot. That's an Abrade. Okay. So I can put this back and put this back. And then I can crack this fetch for a trop. Hey, Pyrodactyl, thank you for the brand new Twitch Prime support. I do appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, I'm definitely abrading the Batterskull. I think I want to leave Hootie back, though, because I don't want my opponent to be able to equip Batterskull or equip Sword to here. I guess they get to keep the Germ, too. That's funny. So, they could Daze me here, but I think this is worth playing out. If I let them untap with 3 mana, they can return the Batterskull to their hand, so I definitely don't want to let them untap. Letting them untap is a big thing. You know what though, Earthbounder? If you're a parent and you don't feel comfortable leaving your kids somewhere, you should probably be going with them to things like that. There are terrible people everywhere in the world, not just the Magic community. Like, those types of things happen everywhere. And as a parent, you need to educate your kids. And if you're taking them somewhere like that, you probably shouldn't be dropping your 12-year-old off at the local game store without adult supervision. That's probably not a smart thing to do as a parent. And yes, those people are terrible, but like singling out Magic as like the only place that has stuff like that happen, that's kind of absurd. But he probably knows that that's absurd, but he does it anyways because that's what he does. We are 1-1. We beat Merfolk and we lost to Sneak and Show. Well, the goose is staying not loose. The fact that they're not attacking with Jitty this turn is pretty good for us. The rest in peace does mean that Ancient Grudge is no longer a 2-for-1, though. God, we can just never flip this, dude. This is worse than Delver in Modern, chat. Why is it so bad? Alright, we found another Abrade, so, like, we get to, like, keep playing Magic, right? We get to, like, keep playing Magic. The GTA is, like, not going to eat us alive. And, like, the Delver... So we get to kill the GTA. I think I waste them off the green mana here, too, right? Just, like, 10 out of 10. We're gonna flip the Delver to Ponder. I think we're dead. Yeah, I just can't beat the Sword of Fire and Ice 2 now. I can beat the... I guess I say no to search here, and then maybe they equip the Germ here. Okay, and they equip the Germ, which means I can Abrade the sword now, and the Germ dies because it's no longer powered up by the sword. And then I can draw exactly our one Ancient Grudge next turn to kill the GTA. Or I guess I could just kill the Stoneforge Mystic, huh? Fuck me. Oh, that's brutal. Well played, opponent. That's tough. That's a good last card to have there. Really good last card to have. Yeah, definitely not going to recover from having to jump block here. Yeah, we were definitely in this game if we abraded there. So we would have gotten to flip to Ponder, and then Sylvan Library would have shown us a Bolt, actually. So yeah, so we would have flipped the Delver and then bolted this, and then we probably would have been in the game. Like, they're at 20, but, like, we would have had, like, their GTA in the top of their deck versus, like, our Sylvan Library and Racing. So I think we would have been in a pretty good spot if we hadn't gotten Flusterstormed there. It was a very close game. A lot of back and forth. A lot of relevant decisions. Yeah. Let's move off the topic of Jeremy. The only reason Jeremy does the things he does is because he's an attention-seeking asshole. So by talking about him, you're giving him what he wants. We are 1-2 in this league, which is a little bit sad. You think the Wasteland was necessary? That's a good question. I don't know what's in their deck. I definitely wasn't thinking about that as a card, but I don't know what cards I'm playing around out of them. Haza with the brand new Twitch Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month. Welcome. The Shoal deck 3-2. Shoal deck went 3-2. So I'm gonna Daze this here, mostly because our Daze is gonna have diminishing returns against the deck playing Ancient Tomb. So, like, the longer the game goes on, like, the less we're getting out of holding this Daze. So playing it out aggressively and getting it in the bin for the Goose is valuable. No worry, Haza. I appreciate you remembering. As someone who also prime subs to people, I know I definitely forget. Alright, well, we have a fetch land to clear it next turn at least. I don't think we've ever had... No, we had one match where we had a Goose get loose, right? Please be a 2-mana card. Please be a 2-mana card. God bless. God bless us, everyone. Which streamer do I sub to? I bounce around to who's ever streaming modern content of the month. I give it to Holy Shamgar some months. I give it to Todd Stevens other months. When I was watching more Hearthstone stuff, I gave it to Kibler a couple of times. All right. Well, I should have held that land in the event of Brainstorm. Yeah, non-zero chance I should have fetched Trop because they are a Wasteland deck. Alright, I'm just gonna time people out aggressively that are talking about mods. Feel free to sword people that are bringing up obnoxious people on the internet. Not permanent bans, just temporary. Actually don't know what Todd Stevens' stream name is offhand. If you Google it, I'm sure you'll find it. Hopefully we draw a lightning bolt, because if we draw a bolt, it's actually lethal. Because we get to bolt them, pierce our bolt, pay for our pierce, and have threshold to kill them. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Just the smartest, thinnest Temur Delver player on the planet, chat. Just the smartest, thinnest Temur Delver player on the planet. Just excellent. Got him. Got him talking about the geese never being loose. They heard your cries, chat. They were like, you know what? They're going to bust a move this game. They're just like, ooh. Bust a move. Bust a move. All right, so I think Stifle's pretty bad here, right? Stifle strikes me as a card that I'm not interested in playing against the deck without fetch lands. I feel like a lot of their triggers aren't particularly good. Spell Pierce is pretty bad here as well. I feel like between Grim Monolith and Chalice of the Void, I might be able to get some mileage out of this Spell Snare. I think I'm going to board in the Barbarian Ring just because I'm bringing in True-Name, and because I'm boarding in 3-drops, I want more lands in my deck. Awesome, Polsky. I think, like, Spell Snare's not exciting, but it's fine. Oh yeah, Loam's great. Much better than wastelanding them once, wastelanding them every single turn. Wild Slash is kind of mediocre here. I could definitely trim that. I heard we're sorting people and I rushed to my keyboard, but everybody's behaving. First world mod problems. Bringing an actual factual counterspell doesn't seem terrible. I like how mods talk about being sad about not having people to sword. There's just a bunch of people that are like, martyr me! Martyr me! I haven't ever actually played with a Switch. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a real good one. It'll be interesting to see what they do here. If they have like a Thought Knot, do they take the Grudge or do they take the Dismember? I feel like they'd probably take the Grudge, right? I guess it depends on the context of the rest of their hand though, right? Oh god, it's just a slaughter. It's just a slaughter. There's so much hostility. Oh no. I want you to not flip to a wasteland. Alright, Force will do. Force will do too, pig. That'll do. That'll do, little Delver pig. Draw a card. Mongoose. I have this Ponder to pitch to this Force. Play this Volk. Play this Delver. So how much mana do they have here? They get to untap this. Hey, there is a new sub. Really liked your why Reddit hates me rant. Takes character to admit your faults in situations where you weren't the only one who's wrong. Hopes this helps you make great content. Thanks for the 2-month free subscription. I appreciate that and welcome back. So we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana here. Am I supposed to force this Thran Dynamo? Probably not. They already have like buku amounts of mana, right? We're just like forcing payoffs. We're like crossing our fingers and hoping they don't have Ulamog as a payoff. I'm gonna force that. Just like get these cards in my bin. Get in my bin. Get in there. Just like, I think we're on the just like hope they have nothing plan here from here on out. That's a tropical island. That's fine. That lets me put Hootie into play, right? No, that wasn't what I wanted to do. Moto. That isn't what I wanted to do. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120, 121, 122, 1 Whoops. Yeah, when Caleb's streaming Modern, I often turn him on. Tap out for Goose, put the fear in him, right? Alright, it's gonna be like a big scary Ulamog. Ugin. It's possible that forcing the Warping Whale was too aggressive. Even a big Walking Ballista is pretty bad for us here, huh? Yeah, I shouldn't have forced that Warping Whale. Hey, yo, Jeff, how's it going? Hope I can get a timeout from the boss. Got you, James. Welcome back. Thank you for the 3-month resub. Yeah, I definitely shouldn't have forced the Warping Whale. So I'm gonna bolt this, which makes this a 3/3. And then we're gonna delve our entire bin. I don't think I stacked the top of my deck right either. I'm pretty sure I stacked the fetch land on top, which was wrong. I don't remember. All right, we just need one more brick out of him. Just need one more big brick. I did stack it wrong. Dark Magi, thank you for the 11-month resubscription. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for the continued support. Survey says. Ew. Can Temur Delver finish 3 and 2 as well? Is this the new 3-2 format, chat? Is this the new every deck is a 3-2 format deck? You are almost to your sword, Dark Magi. Soon. Soon, young Padawan, you shall ascend. Alright, what do we got up after? We're actually clipping through these pretty quickly, huh? Should we play goblins today? Should we play a 4th deck? What do you think, chat? Should we put goblins on the menu? Alright, we're gonna play some Tinfin Dark Depths after this one. And we'll wrap up with goblins. So we're gonna play this last match in this Temur Delver League. We're gonna play a league with Tinfin Dark Depths, and then we'll wrap up the day with a 4th league playing goblins. I will move the goblins list to the top of the donation queue. So if you are looking at the donation queue, the goblins list is now 4th from the top, so you can take a peek there. What does M19 give goblins? Am I expecting Stoneblade to get played tomorrow? I don't know. I'm just gonna go in order of the queue. I'm just gonna go in the order of what's up there. I can't be X because Yep, Joe, it's, yep. Trash Master. Any meme deck you think is less bad with the bans? I don't know, does Omnishow count as a meme? Omnishow's like, nah, it's like a real deck, right? Alright. Fingers crossed, let's Stone Rain you. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Crack it. Crack it. Crack it. Come on. Come on. Come on. Crack it open. Damn it. Damn it, chat. We're so unlucky. We're so unlucky. Why are we unlucky? Do 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 do. How do you feel about replacing Hoots Magoots with Goyf? I don't know. I am not a Temur Delver expert. I think the next time we play this deck, I would definitely play Goyf in it to get a feel for that. But I think that's definitely something that I would need experience playing with both cards to make an educated and informed decision on. God, I hope this is your only land. God, I hope this is your only land. Get Legacied. Get Legacied. Aw, man. Aw, man. Had another land. What a lucker. I'm going to daze the crap out of a cantrip here. So, the important thing to note when playing against Storm is that the turn Storm combos, your soft counters like Daze are not going to be good enough to stop them from killing you. So you want to aggressively Daze and Spell Pierce cantrips in a matchup like this. So that way you actually use your Daze as a 1-for-1 to disrupt them where they're trying to go. Young Pyromancer is interesting. I definitely think playing some number of True Names potentially in the main sounds reasonable. Like, True Name's a really good Magic the Gathering card, in case you are unaware. Like, the card just, like, steals games so very, very well, especially in the fair matchups. So, definitely not opposed. Definitely not opposed to just, like, getting some main deck copies of True Name in here. Oh, do they miss their land? Oh, geez. Can we brainstorm into a Wasteland next turn, chat? All I want out of life is to Stone Rain. I just want to Stone Rain. Stone Rain! Stone Rain! Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Gosh, we drew a Daze, too. This is so tough. This is so tough. I think I'm supposed to put the Delver and the Dismember back, because if I bolt them plus crack this fetch, the Geese break loose. Yeah, that's what we're supposed to do for sure. Want to pressure here. So they're dead in 2, so they have to combo next turn. They have to combo next turn through a Daze after missing a land drop. Grrr. Yep. So, don't Daze them here, because Daze gives them a free storm count. And in a position where they're forcing themselves to go off, they might need that storm count to win the game. Alright, so this is definitely a Flusterstorm, Pyroblast, Surgical matchup. Counterspell is also fine. Dismember and the Bolts and Wild Slashes can come out. Actually, the Brick's probably pretty bad. Leaving a Bolt in seems fine. What do we think of this? How many more leagues today? I'm planning to do 2 more after this one. I'm planning to play a league with the Tinfin Dark Depths deck, and then I'm planning to wrap up with the Goblins League. But the rest of us just here to make it a good experience. I think this is what I want to do. Okay, let's do this. No, so against a non-discard deck, the Storm deck generally isn't going to play its artifacts out proactively, and Abrade can't deal damage to my opponent. So the artifact destruction option on Abrade is pretty useless if your deck isn't forcing them to play their stuff out. Why would I cut Snare? Snare is good against Cabal Ritual, and it's good against their tutor, so it's a card they have to get rid of. I think Snare's very good in this matchup. No pressure here is very, very bad for us. We need a Goose or a Delver here really badly. How often we're going to play Legacy is just going to simply be dictated by when decks get to the top of the queue. So I haven't been intentionally avoiding playing Legacy. It's just that, like, people donate more money to see Modern, so I like playing Modern and I like playing Legacy, but more people send money for Modern, so we play Modern more often. Modern's just more popular than Legacy in general. It's a more accessible format. People, generally speaking, want to see formats played that they play themselves, and more people play Modern than Legacy because it's accessible. There's likely gameplay reasons too on occasion, but it's definitely, the accessibility is big. People who support my content dictate what we do and when and how often we do it. So we've got a Delver on top of our deck now, which is nice. We've got Delver followed by Pyroblast. I didn't draw and play the Delver last turn because I wanted to leave 2 mana up, so that way I could have 2 counterspells up. No, I think it's easy to scroll down. I don't think it's unreasonable to make people scroll. I think it's easier for people to see the formats that they care about by breaking them up in the queue. Yeah, Stifle is fine. Our hand is decent here. They have a lot of things they need to get through. Nobody knows what's good in the new format. We haven't played enough games yet. We just found out what's going on. We need far more information than we currently have. I'm pretty sure I'm holding this Stifle for their Storm trigger at this point. Lesk with the 4-month resubscription. Thanks for the third of a year of support. I do appreciate it. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Yeah, the predict is really interesting. Also, like, our opponent has plenty of mana here, so I'm really not incentivized to Stone Rain them at this point. I'm actually going to put a stop on my upkeep here, because I don't really think I want to draw a Pyroblast next turn. How do the bans affect Legacy Tron? They probably make it better, but hopefully it will be less Delver decks. I'm not sure if that works, Endless, but I wouldn't mind if you tried. You cannot Stifle LED. LED is a mana ability that you cannot respond to. It's like a ball therapy. Dark Ritual, sure. All right, you've got plenty of mana. I assume their end goal here is Ad Nauseam. So they have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They have 9 mana currently. Brainstorm. Sure. Do they not have it? And they're just, like, trying to go for it now while only have 2 spells up? I wonder if they don't have it yet and they're just trying to go for it now while only have 2 spells up. That makes sense. Like, once they have 3 spells up, they're going to have a hard time. You can Stifle the Storm Trigger, so they need to get the Stifle out of our hand before they fully go off. Endless, thanks for checking out, honey. I appreciate it. Yep, Storm is a trigger. You can Stifle it. You thought the Brainstorm was part of the onion? The Battle Bond cards, I don't think get added until the treasure chests get updated tomorrow. Okay, so there's a... So this is interesting. So at this point, do I want to burn the Spell Pierce? I feel like I don't want to burn the Spell Pierce here because I want to be able to hold up 2 pieces of interaction here. So while, like, cutting them off 2 pieces of mana is appealing, I'd rather be able to, like... If they take any of these 4 cards out of my hand at random, I think being able to cast 2 of them is more valuable than cutting them off of 2 pieces of mana here. So I think I just say this resolves. Because, like, they have a black and then a Volk and a Petal floating here. And they have Rain of Filth resolved. So they have 4 more black mana that they can still make here. So, like, they probably have more mana than they need at this point. Rat Doss with the brand new tier 1 sub. Thank you very much and welcome. I appreciate that. Yep. I assume this is gonna turn into an ad nauseum here. Yeah, I like that Spell Pierce art a lot too, personally. So they're gonna have 1 mana left over when they ad nauseum here. Maybe I was supposed to Spell Pierce. Oh, they're just emptying. Okay, that makes sense. I am cold to that, right? Yeah, I'm cold to that. Thanks, Rat Doss. It's nice to know that there's still some reasonable people in the world. The amount of people that can find the need to push back on saying, hey, what if we all tried to be nicer to each other in ways that didn't cost us anything? That were just like, no, but my right to be an asshole. And it's just like, whoa, calm down. Calm down. All right. I think I can keep this, right? It doesn't have a threat, but it's got, like, Wasteland and this other stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this. I think because of the Ponder. I think I can keep this on the back of the Ponder. I think I'm keeping this on the back of the Ponder. What you got? What you got? There's Delverino too. That's great. All right, so we're gonna stack this. So I don't want them to know the Delver is coming if they have a Thoughtseize. So I'm gonna draw the Trop, and then we'll draw the Delver next turn, and then we'll flip it to the Surgical the turn after that. Correct. Yeah. All the people equating it to free speech, like, didn't actually listen to what I said. I'm not saying you should lock anybody up or throw them in jail. I'm just saying that if you're being rude to people, we're going to be rude to you back and tell you to leave. Like, we're going to say, hey, if you want to be a dick, that's great. Fuck off and go be a dick somewhere else. This is a private community that doesn't have to tolerate what you want to do. Alec, Niv with the $2 donation. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. Can we pay to be an asshole because of capitalism and democracy? Not in a way that attacks other people directly. You can pay me to be an asshole to me, but even if you're sending me dollary dues, if you're being rude to people in chat, we're probably gonna remove you. So this gets the flip to Surgical here, which is nice. Can I attack myself on your stream? Let's not, because I don't know if you're actually attacking yourself or not. Yeah, a lot of people are just really disconnected and don't understand the difference between, like, what... so, Pyroblasts are in here purely for countering their cantrips. So just, like, take the first cantrip you can blast and blast it off. Blast it off into space. feel like we're in a medium spot here. Like, we've got an okay clock, but our disruption in hand is a little bit meh. Nah, I think that's nonsense. If people want to be hateful, they should create their own social media platforms where they're able to be hateful. I think I'm actually just gonna Daze this. Actually, I'm gonna Daze it by returning a land to my hand, yeah. Because I might want to Brainstorm this land away later. Nope, bannings are live. Spells, brainstorms, cantrips. Alright, it'll do pig. It'll do pig. Any tips here? The best thing I could say if you're not a native English speaker, if you're ever uncertain on what you're supposed to do or say in a certain phrasing, just be upfront and say, this is not my native language and I'm not sure if I'm saying this correctly, but this is what I think. And if I'm saying something that's wrong here, I'm not doing it on purpose. This is just, you know, this is my understanding of the language. Am I supposed to surgical their dark rituals here? Is that absurd? Is it absurd to take the rituals away? This match is pretty close in my experience. I haven't played Temur Delver, but other Delver decks. I think I'm supposed to take their dark rituals here. I got one out of their hand too, sweet. So they have LED, Duress, Petition, Cabal Ritual, and I've got 2 ways to stop Cabal Ritual here. Let's take a picture because it lasts longer. No, I don't want to draw step surgical because that builds storm count on my opponent's turn. So I would rather lose the small percentage chance of them drawing another dark ritual and make up for it with them not getting a storm count should they want to go off. Yeah, they could also double ritual ad nauseum. It is very true. Giving some, again, like the storm deck, a lot of the times when it fully goes off, it goes off completely over the top. But there's a lot of the times where when you're applying reasonable pressure to the storm deck, they're not going to have enough mana to go, they're not going to have enough storm to go off. So giving them that extra storm count for free can be detrimental to you. It's unfortunate. I guess they also missed on a land though, so we've got that going for us. So they have Dark Petition, Cabal Ritual, LED, and then like 2 cards we don't know at this point. It's a cantrip. So I'll snare the shit out of a Cabal Ritual. We have 1 Bolt in our deck now at this point. I could see there being an argument for leaving more Bolts in here. The other nice thing about having them under this much pressure is that they're not going to be able to go off with goblins. They need to actually kill us here. Is this it? This might be it. Got him. Got him. Got the 3-2. Sweet. Every deck's a 3-2 deck. So, I don't really have good... So, if you haven't watched the stream before, these are decks that people have submitted, and I try to give some feedback on them afterwards a lot of the time. But when a deck's a more established archetype, just like playing 5 matches with a deck, especially an established archetype, is not enough to really get the full ins and outs with it. I think if you're interested in playing Temur Delver in Legacy, the thing you need to test to confirm for sure is, are the Hooting Mandrills ideal or are the Tarmogoyfs ideal? And you want to test both of those things. So if I was going to play another league with Temur Delver, I would play Tarmogoyf next, and then I would kind of reflect back and think about, well, what was good, what was bad, what was different between the two. Someone else mentioned a build that plays Young Pyromancer and True-Name Nemesis. That actually sounds pretty sweet too. I definitely think True-Name is a card that's worth exploring just playing in the main deck of this deck. Hopefully I didn't muck up too badly there and people learned a few things.